What's up, you guys? So today I'm going to teach you how to juggle 3 balls just like this. Let's get into it. And as much as you might be excited to jump into 3, I'm actually going to have you start with just 1. You can use any balls about this size. It helps if they have some amount of weight to them. You can use something like tennis balls. I actually started learning with tennis balls, but it is much harder to learn that way. So if you can, get yourself some pretty nice juggling balls. Make sure they fit in your hand well. You want to be able to easily hold 2 in one hand like that. But you don't want to be so small that they easily fall out of your hand. So first thing we're going to do is just throw from one hand to the other, about head height or a little bit lower. And you want to make sure that you're throwing it at an angle, like that. You don't want to be coming in like that and throwing it straight up, because then when you have more balls in the air, they're going to hit each other. So another thing you want to do is make sure that when you catch the ball, you're catching it a little bit on the outside from where you're throwing it. So if I'm catching it out here, I'm going to throw it in here. And then catch it out here and throw it in here. So you want to get really good at throwing it back and forth from one hand to the other. The ball is moving in a figure 8 shape. That's how you make sure that they're not going to collide once you have more of them. So once you can do this, get about 10 to 20 throws in a row with this, then you're ready to pick up the second ball. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start with one hand. Most people start with their dominant hand and throw just like you did before, but before you catch that first throw, you're going to throw the second one like this. So you're throwing the second one on the inside of where you're catching the first throw. So if you see that, my hands are going in a little bit of a circle. And so a lot of people, when they first try, will accidentally throw the first one and then just pass off the second one. But you want to make sure that you're throwing both balls to the same height with both hands. They always go to the same height. Now it'll take a while to get that both throws perfectly the same height. And that's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Not until you start juggling 5 and 7 balls. But for now, just get to where you can do this, starting with the same hand about 10 times in a row. And once you can do that, then you're going to try starting with the other hand. So now I'm going to start with my left hand. Same thing, throwing the balls with both hands to the same height every time. Once you can do that 10 times, then try alternating every time. So starting with my right, starting with left, starting with right, starting with left, starting with right, and so on. Do that until you can do it about 10 times again. Once you can do that, then it's time to pick up the third ball. Now things are getting exciting. So now, the first 2 throws are exactly the same. You have 1, 2, 1, 2. But then before you catch that second throw, you're going to throw the third one. So 1, 2, 3. And catch them all. And you can put it back to the same hand. 1, 2, 3. Catch them all. Now again, make sure that you're throwing them somewhat diagonally across. If you throw 1, 2, 3, that's going to get really hard once you are juggling. You're not going to be able to sustain a pattern that looks like this for very long. So you want to make sure that you are moving your hand in a circle and that you're throwing them across. 1, 2, 3. So the ball's going in a figure 8 pattern. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, get to where you can do that about 10 times in a row. And once you can, you're ready to try starting with your left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you notice, since we're doing 3 throws, we always end up with the ball, the second ball in the other hand. So now we can just switch from one side to the other, starting with right hand, starting with left hand, just like we were doing with 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great, so now once you can do that 10 times, you're ready to do more throws. So we're going to start by adding just one more throw to it. And it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. So you want to practice that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to do that, adding one more throw, and then getting it 10 times in a row, and adding another throw. You're going to continue doing that until you can get about 6 throws. So you did 4, now you do 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then at that point, if you're feeling pretty solid with that, you have a pretty even pattern going, then you can try and go for it and see how many throws you can get sometimes. You still want to practice catching them at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10. You can experiment and see how many throws you get. And it's okay if you drop them, right? It's okay if you go until you drop, but you still want to, sometimes at least, collect at the end and practice collecting. And then before you know it, you'll be juggling 3 balls. Just like this. There you go.